each and every one of you. Many teachings here underneath this house, underneath this roof here today. Thankful for this facility. Thankful for all the workers and faculty. A dream that has come to life. Welcome each and every one of you, all of you. Thank you. If we could ask for the Longhouse staff, come forward, please. We need you. So I want to be proper. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Wade Green. I come from the Makah Tribe, Wyatch Village, and I've been asked to be one of the MCs here today, and I'm very humbled and honored to do so today. There's going to be a lot of work taken care of today, a lot of words spoken, and a lot of history shared about this building, about how it became for real. So with that, we would like to call upon some witnesses. Can I get a witness? We're going to call upon these witnesses to watch and pay attention. And at the end of the day, in the evening, we're going to ask to reflect upon what they watched and what they learned. So the Longhouse staff here would like to, as we call out these witnesses, to ask them to stand up where you are. You don't have to stand on your chair. You don't have to jump up and down, but if we could ask for alumni representative Gary Wessels Galbraith. We call upon you to be a witness today, to watch our words and our history today. Alumni representative Rebecca Cesspooch, excuse me. If you could stand up. Oh, you are standing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Youth representative Betty Pacheco. Betty, call upon you as a witness to watch the events today. Thank you very much, Betty. Longhouse Advisory Board Representative. That's longer than their name. Sherrod Yonker. Sherrod Yonker. Call upon you to witness today. We thank all of you for accepting this today, being called as a witness. With that, we'd like to share a little bit of history. My grandfather, Hamilton Green, did a lot of work alongside of John Hottaway. And for those of you who may not know, that's quite a drive from Nia Bay to here. And our fathers, our grandfathers, spent a lot of time traveling back and forth to one help and facilitate in the coming together of this idea for this Longhouse. And where we come from in Makah territory, Kodichta, we have a lot of teachings, and one of our teachings is to bless the floor, and bless the occasion. So with that, the Hottaway family has been asked by the Longhouse, the Evergreen facility, to take care of this, and also to share some of their songs and to bless this occasion here today. So my family, my cousins, my relations, Tyerstedt family, Hottaway family, they have the floor now. So again, I'd just like to thank each and every one of you for being here. We can never say that enough. This house is like how it brings our teachings together, how vital all of our teachings are and how they make it through the generations. Our history is oral. Not a lot of it is documented from books or recordings, but it's passed along through sharing time together like this. And with a facility like this in a huge college of Evergreen, it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing to watch our teachings carry on through the generations. David Boxley, Git Hone will be taking the floor while the Hottaway family prepares. Thank you. Hottaway family has the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jean Vitalis. John and Edith Hottaway were my parents. And as we were driving here today and remembering the directions, we were thinking how many years we've been coming here. And John and I have been together for 20 years, and we've been coming here since we've been together, so that's a lot of years. In the later years of my parents, we would bring them. As they got older and frail, they firmly believed in their cultural beliefs that when you get an invitation, you accept it. You don't turn it down. If you're ill, you get better and you make it. And so even when my father was frail and my mother was frail, we'd wheel them up in their wheelchairs and they would make their presence known. This college was, and a Longhouse project, and all of the teachings that this university was involved in with respect to Native people were really important to both of my parents. I'd like to take a minute and talk a little bit about what is different about some of our elders than how we do things today for like my generation. And my parents were just the epitome of great ambassadors for their people. They viewed the world without judgment, and they didn't judge themselves or their community. It would never have occurred to them to be judgmental about things. And so as ambassadors, they went all over. As Wade was saying, my parents and Mary and Ham Green, they went as far as Tashkent, Russia, sharing the culture. And my dad taught here. Ham and Mary taught here. And that's something that goes back in my family way back. I like to remind my family, because we're UW alumni, most of us. My grandson just graduated this year with his master's in teaching from the UW. But my grandmother, Ada Markiston, our school in Neobay is named after her and her husband. But she taught at the University of Washington basket weaving in 1935. The school was very new then. So education and bringing forth our culture and sharing our culture is something that's been real open with my family. And it wasn't until my generation came along, when we got educated, we learned to be judgmental. And so I am constantly having talks with myself and praying to be more like my parents and my ancestors and not be so judgmental. Having said that, I think we're ready to bless the floor. Okay, thank you. Our people, you can be seated now, thank you. Our people, Kudich Ja'at or Makah, as we're seeing on the American map, people of the Kudich Ja'at, people of the Cape, we're part of the Nuchanuth group from Vancouver Island. We just happened to be on this side of the border when somebody drew a line through the Straits of Juan de Fuca. And our culture is that of Nuchanuth and the Klukwali. And what we just prepared now in this ceremony was prepared the floor. It's a blessing to protect the dancers. The next thing that we'll be doing is a tzikya. And the tzikya that we says is a blessing chant that acknowledges that we're standing on an area where great and humble Indian people have walked before us, and we're acknowledging that and thanking them for allowing us to be here on this day. Either you or Oh, yeah. Thank you. While we're waiting, I see that one of our dancers just arrived. They had apparently were lost, but just arrived. So while she's getting ready, I'd like to take this time to go ahead and introduce my family. The individual you all know, Naitam, that did the chant. He is my cousin. And the leaders of this family after me will be my oldest son, Seiyasit. Bill, you raise your hand. And Hishali, he just walked back behind the screen. And they're getting ready. And also with us today is my brother, Tima'a, is here today. And I'd also like to introduce a namesake, Tayish. Would you come forward, please? This is the oldest son. And before before my mother, on her 80th birthday, one of the things that she wanted to make sure of was that her husband's name was taken care of. And so on her 80th birthday, she gave my father's name, Taishtid, to, this is Billy Parkin III. This is Taishtid. Thank you. And the oldest Markishtam name, which was my mother's house, was a treaty signer, and that's Suddy Cleawood. Raise your hand, Suddy Cleawood, where are you? There you are. Suddy Cleawood is a new teacher this year. We're really excited to have him home in Nia Bay teaching. We also have my oldest daughter, Wayubastab, is here helping the dancers get ready in the back. Oh, she's right here. Excuse me. This is Wayubastab. And she carries my mother's name, Wayubastab, and that name comes from dear friends in Quileute and relatives at Quileute. Okay, we've just been informed that there's going to be a change of plans, and if we're flexible, if nothing else, and so the other group is actually ready, and so we're still getting ready. So rather than wait, we're going to go ahead and turn the drum over to this other group, and when they're finished, then we'll put forward Taishted songs on the floor for you all. Thank you.
Thank you to the Taishted family, Hottaway family. Where we come from, this dance that we just did is laying that eagle down. And that eagle down is to prepare this floor for anybody who's going to partake in today's festivities, all the words that are spoken, that this place is protected, this place is purified. And with that, we kind of step up. We step up into a more serious part of today's procession, I guess. And if we could ask that you turn your cell phones down, your ringers, so that we can have a little bit of privacy here. And also, I've been informed earlier that there'll be food starting at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. And the food will be available in the back area here. So we're not going to stop and break and set up tables, but we don't want you starving. We want everyone to get along. So we want you fed. And there's also drinks and coffee and things in the back. So with that, the Get Home, David Boxley's family and dance group has the floor. Again, thank each and every one of you for being here and participating, witnessing, watching today's event. So thank you so much. Get Home, the floor is yours. Whoa. Just as a quick note here, David Boxley was the first artist to lead a residency in the new carving studio in 2013. And he had a bent wood box workshop, which was used in today's entrance. So just a quick side note on Mr. Boxley. So the floor is yours.
Evergreen Longhouse, the boy, and get home, the meal and that limi and wash it with shagao. Tamshian, get on needs. Haida, the sweat, the Amahabol, look at you smash the way. Tamshian, Alaska, the will Kusuak. Azik Sigoru will still a meal with him. Akid Horn Ashagam. Thank you, all of you, for coming today to witness what is happening. We are the Gidhorn, the people of the salmon. We are from Alaska. We are honored and proud to be a part of this day. The idea of this facility and the things that it does have always been positive, and it has fulfilled a lot of the hopes and wishes of Native people to have a gathering place. Lu amagoru, du will haitku a hats achtashim as a gaon. Komt gagoru, dem will skuskur a chanis nusum, go will a zabat amsian. We're happy to be here to perform for you today, and we hope that you will enjoy everything that we have to show you. Gort will hand hook meal! Wilainum likskedogetum. There will jagawa. Wilainum dem will woyum. We know we are visitors to this land, and we honor the indigenous people of this land. The Salish people are a good, strong, beautiful people, and we're proud to be part of this day with you. Thank you for allowing us to be here with you. The songs and the dances that you are about to see in their makeup are very old. We use a lot of masks. But these young people I'm very proud of them, they bring life to these dances. The only old song that we own is the one you are about to see. This is a chief's headdress dance that is hundreds of years old. It comes from northern British Columbia. Tsimshian people originated along the banks of the Nass and the Skeena rivers and along the coast in northern BC. All of our people here in this dance group, our ancestors are from British Columbia, but we are all Alaskans and trace our lineage back to the village of Metlakatla in southeast Alaska. This is Chief's headdress dance, or Chief's welcome dance. I mentioned a minute ago the indigenous owners of this land. I also feel a connection to the Makah and the Quileute. I've played a lot of basketball against your grandpas. I was getting a new pair of glasses the other day, and the lady asked me how old I was, and I couldn't believe I was saying 63, and I thought somebody else is saying those words. I don't know. But we had some really great games against the Makahs. Fast guys. My son and I are proud that we have a totem pole out at the Quileute and their cultural center. We're proud to do that. Grateful. This song is to honor all of the indigenous people of this peninsula, of this coast. These young men represent the four and a half. He's not going to dance? This is an honor song. This was written by a young Tlingit woman in my dance group named Allison Bremner. She's from the village of Yakutat. She's not here today. But this song is to honor the people of this land, the people who owned this land before there was any of the rest of us here. This is not a warrior's dance. This is an honor song. Anyat Kusane! Uhani, Anyat Kusani. Uhani, Anyat Kusani de. Hey, 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 ah, hey, hey, hey. Ooh, hey, 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 ah, hey, hey, hey. Uhani, Anyat Kusani. Uhani, Anyat Kusani de. Hey, 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 ah, hey, hey, hey. Ooh, hey, 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 ah, hey, hey, hey. Ooh, honey, Anyat Kusani. Ooh, honey, Anyat Kusani de. Hey, 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 ah, hey, hey, hey. Ooh, hey, 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 ah, hey, hey, hey. Ooh, honey, Anyat Kusani. Ooh, honey, Anyat Kusani de. Hey, 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 ah, hey, hey, hey. Ooh, hey, 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 ah, hey, hey, hey. Just want you to know that's the first time that little boy has danced that dance with us. He's actually been dancing with us since he was in the womb, and we have another little one that's not here today that probably would have been out here too, but that's pretty cool. That makes continuity. That's why we're here. The missionary was very successful with my people. My generation and the one before, my parents' generation, were forced to give up just about everything. But my son's generation, everybody 30 and in their 30s and younger, now thinks that this is normal. And I'm pretty proud of that, so thank you. The next song is a newer song too that our women are going to dance. It is a song that remembers our elders, remembers our ancestors, paves the way for the future, clearing the path for the next generation to come through. Our women are going to dance this one. Yakwen yakana kageksa Waiwa. This song was traded to me by a good friend of ours in Vancouver, British Columbia, a Tsimshian woman, Christine Martin. We mention her name every time we use it because it's a tradition that the songs belong to us, as with all of you. Songs belong to you just like your property. And we acknowledge that this song came from her. The song honors her uncle, who is a chief in the village of Lachwalams, used to be called Port Simpson near Prince Rupert in British Columbia. So this is to honor all of you who consider the raven part of your life. Many, many years ago, in northern British Columbia, they didn't have throat lozenges, no. There was a family of beaver that built a dam near this large stream. Some teenagers, human beings from the village, thought they would play a joke on the beaver, and they wrecked the dam that the beaver built. The beaver came back that night and built an even bigger dam and flooded the village, and half the people were lost. A young man was sitting on the banks of this huge lake that had been formed by that beaver dam. And he saw a giant beaver come out of the water and slap its tail he learned from that experience that we should honor all creatures and people and not make the same mistake that those young people did. This song was given to me by an elder, Tsimshian elder from the village of Kitsimkalem near Terrace, British Columbia. This is the beaver song. Dim thought a wee, dim thought a wee, ah yeah, ah ah. Dim thought a wee, dim thought a wee, ah yeah, ah ah. Dim yet a walk, dim yet a walk, ah yeah, ah ah. Dim yet a walk, ah yeah, ah ah. Nini go over the well, just a call them Sordisham. Nini go over the well, just a call them Sordisham. Nini go over the wells, gloom grease, and up. Dim thorn a wee, dim thorn a wee, ah yeah, dim thorn a wee, ah yeah, dim yet a walk, dim yet a walk, ah yeah, dim yet a walk, ah yeah. Nini go over the well, just a call them Sordisham. Nini go over the well, just a call them Sordisham. Dim thorn a wee, dim thorn a wee, ah yeah. Dim thorn a wee, ah yeah. Dim yet a walk, ah yeah. Dim yet a walk, ah yeah. Nini go over the well, zoom grease and up. Nini go over the well, zoom grease and up. Dim thorn a wee, dim thorn a wee, ah yeah. 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 Doexisum, Chanis Nosum, Doexisum. That my language is called Somalia, spoken by the Coast Tsimshian people. Unfortunately, as I said, as with you all, our language as a part of our culture has been suppressed for so long. We're trying now to bring it back. We're trying to keep it from going away, but on the planet, as of today, we have about 40 speakers left. And that's with every one that passes, it gets closer and closer. So we're going to try. We're not going to go down without a fight when it comes to our language. I wrote this next song in 1994 to honor my grandfather at a 4-day potlatch we had in my village. We fed 1,000 people a night for 4 nights. We raised 3 totem poles and dedicated 55 new button robes during that time. All 4 clans of our people, each one hosted one of the 4 nights. It was a marvelous, amazing experience, and it changed my village. This is called Eagle Spirit. You didn't see any of that. You have to think, this is a Longhouse, modern version. Our Longhouses, 60 feet by 30 feet approximately, with a central fire pit. The only light that you would see, other than when the door opened, was fire in the central fire pit. So whenever you see us doing mask dances, you have to send yourself back in time, squint a little bit, and think that you're in that smoky, dark room and take in some of that magic that all of our tribes had in our winter ceremonials. The next song we're going to do for you honors the killer whale and all of the people who consider the killer whale part of their families. Oh, wee, oh, wee, oh, oh, wee, oh. Oh, wee, oh, wee, oh, wee, oh. Oh, wee, oh, wee, oh, wee, oh. Oh, wee, oh, wee, oh, wee, oh. Neste morgen laksulda, up look will but get at us soon. Oh, wee, oh, wee, oh, wee, oh. 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 Kiss foot wide up Tathan heel. Nathan and Zapka. Nathan and Zapka. Oh, wee, oh, wee, oh, wee, oh. 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 Yes, but what adapted in here? Yes, but what yes, but what oh, wee, oh, wee, oh, wee, oh. 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 Waiwa, Sledum Gaudium, Kids Gaudium, Sledelka Gaudium. All those things mean we're almost done. In fact, we're going to do a song that leads into our exit. This song is called, the traveling song was written by my oldest son. I'm going to follow this road wherever it leads, through good or bad, till I reach its end. We are the Gidhon, people of the salmon. We are honored and proud to be part of this day. Thank you very much for sitting there and watching us. We hope that you like what we had to show you. We thank the Evergreen Longhouse and the two chief ladies that are making us always feel so welcome. And thank you very much. Oh yeah, hi, oh yeah, hi, hey hi, yo hey hi, dim lu yat gu gai. Aina kwa ligi lipenda dim will the gorm. Yak had a shagait half, wagait dim will, as good will shabbat. Oh ye hi, oh ye hi, hey hi, yo hey hi. No, actually some honey snoozum. Thank you all. Ha ha, see in the knee. Ha ha, see in the knee. Ha hey ya hey ya. Ha hey ya hey ya. Blue am good. I will need some. Ha ha, see in the knee. Ha ha, see in the knee. Ha hey ya hey ya. Ha hey ya hey ya. I noggin him. Thou wilt milgen him. Thou wasn't. Ha ha, see in the knee. Ha ha, see in the knee. Ha hey ya hey ya. Ha hey ya hey ya. No exorcism. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Longhouse staff. Longhouse staff. Oh, get home, get home. Thank you so much. Get home. If we could give Get Hone another round of applause, please. Woo! I hope everybody was listening. There was a lot of very precious teachings in the words and the dances and what he shared, and kind of brought everything into perspective, and how much of a struggle it is to keep our cultures going, our teachings, and how vital it is for a house like this to have a place for these teachings to be carried on and to be taught to our young ones, the little children being taught, and out here dancing, and 60-something years old taking your place in teaching. So with that, the Longhouse staff here has some gifts. They would like to thank you so much for lifting all of us here, awakening all of our spirits. We thank you. Thank you. Klecko, klecko. Oh. Thank you, Get Hone. With that, that's a tough act to follow, but we'll follow it with some food. I was told that the meals, there's food in the back, it's ready, but don't go nowhere. We're going to ask that you get up as you're hungry, go grab a snack, and we'd also like to ask volunteers to serve our elders. To serve our elders, it's not just anybody with gray hair, but to serve our elders and take care of our elders. It's always important that we take care of our elders. With that, we have a pretty specific agenda. Where I come from, we have what's called Indian time, and we don't, tonight we're not going to be exercising Indian time. We're going to put that on the shelf. But we're very thankful for David Boxley and his group and his family there. With that, we hope you're enjoying the slide, the pictures. As we roll throughout the day, we'll have that continuously rolling. But this is having this longhouse in the middle of such a huge campus, and to have our Aboriginal, our Native American, to be able to come together and share and just even hang out, to talk, to visit. It's very important for that this building is here. But the Evergreen State College on October 1st was the reins were given to a new president, the Evergreen president, George Bridges. He's now serving at Evergreen as Evergreen's sixth president to come to Evergreen after serving for 10 years as president of Whitman College in Walla Walla, Washington. So if everybody could please join with me in welcoming Evergreen's new president, George Bridges.
Good afternoon, everyone. Isn't this fantastic? I'd like to acknowledge the drummers, the dancers, all of the people who are here who are performing, and give them all another round of applause for their great work. I'd also like to announce my predecessor and presidential brother, President Les Purse, who sustained this college for many years and is instrumental in having an event like this. So please welcome President Les Purse. The very best speech by a college president is a short speech. And I will keep my remarks very brief. But this event, this celebration, is a celebration not just of this building and the staff, but it is a celebration of our college's commitment to serving and working and collaborating with tribes all across the country and the world. The strength of that commitment is reflected in these beams, these massive beams that support this structure. Their strength, their beauty, their power reflects our college's commitment to Native peoples around the world and to ensuring that we serve those peoples, you all and everyone else who use this facility in ways that reinforce traditions that we are bringing back and seeing today. It is absolutely essential that we think about the past, reliving it, bringing it back, the present, and to see the young and future elders of our tribes here today, that we can foretell a continuation of this relationship that is the soul of our college. Thank you so much for coming, for being a part of it, and please enjoy this wonderful day and long event. Thank you.
here we are in the beautiful northwest coast area, and we have a very long and strong canoe tradition. So it seems only appropriate that we present a skipper's paddle to the one who will paddle our canoe for the Evergreen State College, to our new president, George Bridges. This paddle was made by my husband, Albert Miller, and myself, and we're referencing a loon. And in Anishinaabe culture, the loon represents a leadership clan. So this is important for our new president to have, and we're very grateful to see that he's already here. He's already supporting and lifting up the Longhouse. So miigwech to you, President Bridges.
Thank you. This will be in my office, and I will think of this event. I will think of the loon, and I will think of leadership, thanks to all of you.
Thank you, Mr. President. With that, I'm hoping that everybody's remembering there's food in the back, so as your tummies start growling, that you help yourself and make sure to take care of the elders. So again, it was September 22nd, 1995 that we were here and we were having the opening ceremonies for this facility. And I'm very humbled. As I said, my name is Wade Green, and I'm very grateful to be standing here and where my father stood and my father's father. So for generations, I've had a connection with this place. It's so touching to see these pictures and how times change and how quickly they change. We become parents and we start realizing how important education is after goofing off in school and high school and college maybe. But then we start having children and we realize how important education is. And then we become grandparents and we start really realize our place in society. And how important it is to keep our teachings going. So with that, I think I'd just like to thank all of you again. I just can't say that enough. But next we have some remarks from Congressman Denny Heck. Denny Heck.
Thank you, Wade. I too am extremely humbled to be here and appreciative to be a part of this day. I raise my hands in respect to all of you, Osim Haishka, and express my deepest gratitude for being here. Part of why I'm so grateful is that not only is this a wonderful event, but I really needed this. I started a school here 44 years ago, the first year it opened. And I am a proud graduate of the Evergreen State College. The very first summer I got here before it opened, I got a job on work study finishing the lecture hall. So this morning, you might imagine my surprise when I came out to talk to the MPA travel program and I was walking across the square and the lecture hall is completely gutted. I felt violated. So I needed this. Thank you very much. This is special to me for two reasons. It is so refreshing to be a part of an event where people work so hard and so thoughtfully to thank those that were a part of making it successful. That doesn't always happen. In fact, it doesn't happen often enough. But you have their names in the program. and you have acknowledged them, and you have held them in your heart. And just because he went off to be retired and wander off into the prairie there, you brought Les back because he was in the room and shook the hand that cut the deal, that got the money to build this building. And you remember Mary Ellen Hilaire, whose vision this was. This was her vision and the work of lots of other people, and we remember them and hold them in our heart. And we should remember somebody else, and I'm going to ask her to stop writing, look up, stand up. For more than a generation, State Senator Karen Frazier has advocated for this institution, has provided for this institution, has befriended this institution. State Senator Karen Frazier. And lastly, this is a wonderful day, and I'm grateful to be here because of what goes on in here. Creation of some of the most magnificent pieces of art imaginable. Now, there are a handful of you here in this room who've been in my office in Washington, D.C. You know how much I love Indian art. And it is created in this building, and it is magic when it is. There's an old adage. Tell me I won't remember, show me I may remember, involve me, I will remember. There's nothing more involving than the expression and creation of art, and it is beautiful what is made here. The Longhouse is the best of the Evergreen State College. And everybody in this room who had a part of it, I thank you. And everybody who is here today, remember it and treasure it. Thank you.
Art that was created here at the Longhouse was the Thunderbird and the Welcome Figures by Greg Kovacs and Andy Peterson. So we wanted to present you with a Bentwood box that was made by Andy Peterson so that you always have part of the Longhouse with you wherever you go.
Ooh. Oh, thank you, Congressman. Very, very great words. I wanted to share. I'm sitting over here in the corner, and I'm kind of a vocal person. And as people are up here speaking, I'm always going ho ho, ho ho, and everywhere I go, I do this. And it was shared with me at one point is that our people used to do that to let the people know, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Oh, thank you. It works. With those words, it's been a great couple of decades coming here, traveling here, and just sharing time here inside this Longhouse, and even leading up to the building of this Longhouse. Been a lot of great memories. I speak of our ancestors and how fast time goes. And it was my father used to come here a lot. His name was Lester Green, who waltzed. And before him, his father. His name was who waltzed, Hamilton Green. And was very instrumental in making this building possible, and the fundraising and the idea, but they worked hand in hand with Tyerstedt, Johnny Hottaway, So our families are really connected. Our roots go deep here in this territory and in this longhouse. So without further ado, or don't, we'd like to take the floor and roll it over to the Hoddaway family. Ho, floor is yours, Hoddaway family, Tyerstedt family.
Thank you, Wade. While my family's, while my family's getting ready, I'd like to take a moment to explain a little bit about what we're doing today. The songs that we're putting on the floor are family songs, they're sacred songs, they're ancestral songs, and they are usually performed at potlatches, at private events. But because my father and mother were such ambassadors about their culture, they felt strongly about sharing it all over the world. And so that brings us to where we are today, to honor my parents' memory and their association with this college and the people that go along with it, Tina and Delbert, for example. Thank you very much for the invitation. We're happy to be here, and we're happy to share these very, very old songs with you. The first one that we'll be doing today is the Klaksada, and it's a woman's dance, a female dance. Two of the dances we're doing today are female dancers. And for me, that's a good thing because I have 9 granddaughters, and they all want a place on the floor. I couldn't help but notice, and my heart went out to the little young man that was performing in the group before us. It made me think about a philosophy my parents had and that I have, and that is how important culture is to our children, because it helps them to, gives them opportunities to express themselves, and it gives them opportunities to learn important values, and it helps them to be comfortable in their own skin as Native people. It helps them to know who they are and have confidence in that. An example is my grandson Anthony's senior class of 24 in a tribal school. We had 100% graduation, and 24 of the graduates, every single one of them, 21 were going to college and were accepted into college, and 3 of them were going into the military. And that's really a big thing for tribal communities. The common factor for all of those 24 children was that they grew up with the culture in their community, in their homes, in their schools, and they felt comfortable with who they are. So that's really important to us. Are we getting close? Okay. The first dance, like I said, is a female dance, and it's also a chief's dance. As he explained in the other culture before, it's the frontlet dances are done by chiefs, and this dance also has what we call sideliners, and they are the people the women that are on the side of the main dancers, and they serve a very important function, and their function is to protect the dancers. Oftentimes they're sacred dancers, and there's a lot of sacred prayers that goes into it, and sometimes it brings us to another world. And also there are other things in this world that could bring them harm. They're vulnerable when they're in this state. And so the purpose of the sideline dancers is to protect them. You'll see that in all of our dances. We have sideline dancers with them. Are they ready? Okay, so we can bring them out at this time.
That the song came from the village of Cayucot, and the Oscar family still uses it. It's been passed down through the many tribes by marriage. Came to our family. Her name, the lady's name was Maggie Anderson, and her brother Moochink, or Jimmy Jim, was placed as the head chief of the House of Wickananish when there was a transference of chieftainship. And just so that you know, this song was passed to us through marriage as well. Thank you.
The next song is a Paklatch song, and it is one of the rare female dances that uses headdresses. Normally you don't see, in our culture, you don't see women wearing the big headdresses. But this particular dance uses the headdress. We also have the sideline dancers that will be there to protect the dancers. I appreciate your patience. This type of event, as I stated, is not usual for my family. Most of the time, these ceremonies are very private, and the setting is just a little bit different. As Wade mentioned, I want to echo our long-standing relationship with his family. Grandma Mary and Grandpa Hualted were two wonderful, beautiful people that I grew up with. When my daughter Nui was born, Nui is the teacher, and she's the one that coordinates our dances. She's back there, real busy right now. But when she was born, it was a very difficult time, and she came into this world a whopping 2 pounds, and wasn't expected to live, according to the medical people. She was the smallest baby born at the UW that year, or that New Year's Day. In 1976, and my mother went to the elders in the village, including Ham and Mary, and asked for prayer to help her. And so every year, from the time she was born until she was 18 years old, every New Year's we had a potlatch for her to thank the people for praying. And she got used to that, and Ham would give her a new name every single year. And so we call her Nui Many Blankets, because she received so many blankets over the years, and also Nui Many Names, because she received so many names. Okay, thank you. Here they come. The last little one leaving the floor, this is her first time dancing. And she looks just like her cousin, but they look like sisters, but they're actually cousins. And her name is Allison. We call her Allie Boo. Allie Boo. Allie Boo. Come here, babe. Say hi to the people. Okay, thank you. Get Ada, tell Ada Jean to come. Go get Ada Jean. And the next little my granddaughter, this is Sansi. Say hi, Sans. And my namesake, Ada Jean. And this is my beautiful granddaughter, Caitlin. She's a sister to Taishted, and yet Anataquis. No, Hamisetuk is her name. Hamisetuk. That's Katie's name. Thank you, girls. Oh, this one just popped up. This is Starlina. This is her first dance too, and we're really proud of her. The next and last song, dance that we'll be doing tonight is Klikwali song. It's a Paklatch song. And it's, we call it my dad's Taishtit signature song. We call it the double spin, but it's a wolf ritual. And the spinning that occurs during this performance represents the transformation in spirits of the wolf, going from one world to another. And traveling between these worlds is something that is a sacred but common occurrence with Klukwali people. Communicating with the wolf spirit is something that's needed oftentimes. I'd like to introduce Wayobasta. Would you come with, this is one of two. Colin, will you come up with the other one, please? My oldest granddaughter, Ariel, blessed us with twins. So we have Jayla and Joliana, and this is their dad, Colin. And it's interesting to me as a grandparent. One looks like mom and one looks like dad. They're fraternal twins, and they're new, and we can't wait until they're old enough to start learning to dance too. Yeah, I don't know about that. So, and we have one more. There she is. John, would you come up with this one? This is the youngest of my granddaughters. This is number 9. And her name is Samantha. And she's learning Waitanash. That's one of the songs that I sing to her almost every day. And she'll dance that dance someday. Thank you, baby. Sit. I'm in need of some boy dancers to keep our songs going. So I'm still encouraged. You know, I'm one of those grandparents, you cannot ever have too many grandchildren. So we're hoping for more. Okay, we're ready for my dad's signature wolf dance. Thank you. Okay. My daughter just reminded me, for those of you that are recording this song and these songs and dances today, for personal use, that is okay, because we're in a public building. But we ask that you please do not put this on the air, on the internet, on Facebook, or anything like that. This is not appropriate for that. And these songs are old, they're ancient, they're sacred, and they're just not for that kind of media, and we'd appreciate it if you'd respect that for us. Thank you. If you are at a potlatch and you hear that last song, you know that Taishtad's in the house. That was my dad's favorite song. It's a song that best embodied his spirit with regard to the Tlukwali. Nevertheless, these songs are potlatch songs. And so at this time, we'd like to thank Tina and Delbert for their hospitality and for the invitation to this wonderful event. Also, we, as I stated before, we don't normally take our songs out of our territory unless it's a Nurchanut and it's a potlatch event. But today we're performing these ceremonies in the territory of Squaxin Island people. And I would like to acknowledge that, and Taishtad would like to shake hands with Dave Whitener. Make sure you shake his hand, son. Thank you for allowing us to perform our ceremonies in your territory. There he is right there. They're connecting. Taishtad, make sure you shake his hand. Thank you, son. The last song we're going to do, we call it Papado's Number One. We had an ancestor that his mother died in childbirth, and he was sent to the Quileute to be raised by his mother's family there. And when they went to get him, they said his training isn't done yet, and they wanted to keep him for a few more years. And so when his Makah people left the village, he was sad at seeing them go because he wanted to go with them. And he composed this song, and it's in the Klallam language, and what the song says is that I'm sad because you are going, and you're going so far away. And this is Papado's Number One. Papado was born in 1860. Thank you.